The Denver Broncos held a community information meeting at La Alma Rec Center just east of Burnham Yard, which is the preferred site of their new stadium. Here's everything you need to know about it. And before we dive in, make sure to hit us with a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe, turn on alerts. We're going to be here following the entire Broncos stadium process from start to finish in 2031 and beyond. But we're also here for all of your Broncos daily news. Free agency just around the corner, so make sure you're rocking and rolling with us. Let's dive into this meeting and what we learned today. And you might have heard me say it's the preferred site for the Broncos, Burnham Yard. It's still the preferred site. They have not taken that word preferred off and made it the official site for their stadium because there's still a lot of work to be done, a lot of permits that need to be done. Right now, that building or the area, Burnham Yard, is not yet zoned for a stadium. So they have to get that changed. So many permits that need to happen before this becomes the actual site of where the stadium will be. So a lot of work still needs to be done in a short period of time because they want the stadium to be done by 2031, and we just got it to 2026. So we'll get to the timeline in just a minute. But the next step is the initial design. This part is about the entire area with the stadium and surrounding the stadium, and that includes 150 acres, and that does seem to be the final design for this area. Is going to be 150 acres, and they want to add 5 to 7 million square feet of new buildings there, including the stadium. So those are the two numbers that we know: 150 acres, 5 to 7 million new square feet of buildings. And how it's going to look is the stadium is going to be on the west side of this development. On the east side, right next to the stadium, is going to be the entertainment district that kind of surrounds the entire east side of the stadium. Then the north side and the south side, those are going to be primarily housing units. Those won't be done at the exact same time as the stadium and the rest. Now, according to City, you have to have at least 10% of open space. That would be 15 acres. The Broncos want to make sure that they exceed that, so they're going to have a lot of open space. And when you see these designs, there's a lot of green around the stadium. It's a lot of skinny strips where there's green space pretty much all the way around, whether it's next to the entertainment area, whether it's next to residential, whether it's next to a lot of local restaurants that they want to have there as well. When it comes to parking, the current Broncos stadium in Power Field at Mile High has 7,000 parking spaces controlled by the Broncos. They plan to have just about 7,000 at the new stadium as well. So parking will be very similar, and they're going to build a lot of it around the light rail. So right now there's one main light rail stop. They're going to keep that one, but they're going to add 3 other light rail stops to really help with transit in and out of game day, specifically when there's 60, 70,000 fans going. Damani Leach was asked how big the stadium will be, and they're still working on that, about how many tens of thousands the seating capacity will be there. But light rail is going to be a big thing, and how they have it planned right now is one stop is going to be way above ground so that it doesn't interfere with fans moving in and out of the stadium. The other 3 stops will be ground level right now. There are some people that want it to go underground, and some of those people were here today talking to the Broncos and talking about what they're calling the Thunderground, which is the light rail going underground, but that's not currently in the Broncos' plans right now. And they also want to incorporate some buildings that are there right now, like the locomotive shop that's there, one of the oldest buildings there. If you've been to the area, you've seen this building. They want to incorporate those into the Broncos' new, not just the stadium, but the entire area around it. So they have great plans for this entire building. Now, let's get to some timelines right now. And before we do that, make sure to hit us with a thumbs up, subscribe. We appreciate all of the support, whether it's this or following us through the Broncos free agency and draft that's coming up. Let's get to the timetable. I have mentioned they want the stadium open in 2031, but there's a lot of other things that need to happen, and they kind of have laid out a rough timeline right now. They zeroed in on this being their preferred site 1 year ago. Remember, we didn't find out as the general public until after the Broncos' first game of last season. In September is when that became official, but they chose this a year ago. So there's a lot of things in the background that they are deciding that the public does not know yet. They want to start construction early in 2027. One of their brochures said in Q1 of 2027, which would be exactly 1 year from now. Another one of their slideshows said maybe Q2 or Q3 is when they'll start construction, but that will be next year is when construction starts on this stadium, which is hard to believe with how much they have to do and just how exciting that is that process could be starting very, very soon. Now, the stadium will be open for the 2031 season as well as the entertainment district, but the north and the south parts, which have the housing and other parts of this, won't be done just yet. That will continue and be done after the stadium's open. So the initial focus will be on getting the stadium done, the infrastructure done, and then the other parts will come after 2031 as well. Now, the final thing, and before I tell you about the renderings, make sure to hit us with a thumbs up, subscribe. We really appreciate your support. There is no timeline on renderings right now. In fact, the Broncos haven't even chosen an architect, but I did make sure to ask Damani Leach just when we will get renderings on this, and he said they don't know yet, haven't even chosen an architect. So those will likely, very likely be later this year, I would imagine, because if they're going to start building and having construction next year, that means all the permits are done. They'll have their architect. They'll have their plans in place. So I'd stay tuned for that later this year, but don't expect anything in the next coming days. That's going to do it for us with the stadium. We got the combine in just 10 days away, so make sure to stay tuned, like and subscribe. We appreciate you.